Restaurant Daily brings you the top headlines of the day, but did you know you can dig deeper into the industry news by listening to The Week in Restaurants, or as we call it, TWER. Available wherever you get your podcasts on Fridays, TWER features restaurant business editor-in-chief Jonathan Mays, senior editor and tech editor Joe Guskowski, and executive editor Lisa Jennings, the TWERmites, who gather each week to chew on the top stories impacting the restaurant industry and offer their insights and analysis. Follow wherever you get your podcasts.
Guzman y Gomez is gone. McDonald's is rethinking some of its climate targets, and I Heart Mac and Cheese is facing sanctions. Welcome to Restaurant Daily, your daily dose of the most important news in the industry from the editors of Restaurant Business and Nation's Restaurant News. I'm RB Executive Editor Lisa Jennings.
And I'm NRN Managing Editor Leanne Zinsmeister. Australian fast casual chain Guzman y Gomez has officially exited the U.S. after closing its 8 domestic locations in the Chicago area. The brand was founded in Australia in 2006 and debuted in the U.S. in January 2020. It went public on the Australian Securities Exchange in 2024 and is now refocusing its expansion strategy on its home market and Asia-Pacific region, where it operates over 200 restaurants. Despite initial ambitions to challenge major chains like Chipotle and Qdoba, Guzman y Gomez couldn't achieve the scale needed for profitability in the U.S. Executives shared that in a filing with the ASE.
McDonald's is rethinking some of its climate targets. The fast food giant said that it does not think it will be able to meet some of its emissions reductions targets by 2030, citing factors beyond the company's control. The company said that it remains committed to eliminating emissions by 2050, but is rethinking how to accomplish that particular goal.
The state of Indiana has ordered sanctions against I Heart Mac and Cheese. In a sweeping 132-page order, the state found that the fast casual chain's parent company and executives omitted certain information and made other misleading statements in their drive to sell franchises, including the cost of operating the business, operational problems, and the management team's history in the restaurant business. Indiana has ordered the franchise to pay back hundreds of thousands of dollars to franchisees in the state, along with other sanctions. The company has been ordered to stop franchising in the state.
Popeyes wants fans to make biscuits at home. The chicken chain is expanding its retail footprint with the launch of at-home biscuit mixes, available now at major retailers, including Walmart, Kroger, Target, and H-E-B. There are 2 varieties, Homestyle and Cajun Cheddar, priced between $3.23 and $3.49. Each mix produces up to 10 biscuits in 18 minutes. This move, timed ahead of National Biscuit Day on May 29th, something we will all be celebrating, marks Popeye's continued push into the consumer packaged goods space, building on last year's successful sauce launch featuring blackened ranch, sweet heat, and Mardi Gras mustard.
Pizza robotics company Picnic is shutting down. The company has handed its assets over to an assignee that will liquidate them and use the proceeds to pay off debt. Seattle-based Picnic was founded in 2016 and created the Pizza Station, an automated assembly line that could put toppings on pizza. It was part of a wave of food robotics companies to gain traction during the pandemic, many of which have since disappeared, including Zoom Pizza, Paistro, Chowbotics, and now Picnic.
Guthrie's, a 60-year-old chicken finger chain based in Auburn, Alabama, is experiencing a renaissance as the underdog in the competitive chicken segment. Tom Carr, who was named CEO in January after serving 10 years at Chicken Salad Chick, said the chain has an advantage in that it still does things the old-fashioned way, including hand-breading its intentionally smaller tenders, which he said pack in more flavor. In 2025, Guthrie's sales grew by 16.8%. while its footprint grew by 7.5% to end the year with 72 locations. This year, the chain has its sights set on new markets, including North and South Carolina.
Church's Texas Chicken has appointed Kevin Nemeth as Executive Vice President and Chief Commercial Officer to lead the brand's commercial strategy. Nemeth will oversee marketing, digital operations, loyalty programs, menu innovation, pricing, and revenue growth across the 1,400 location system, which spans 25 countries. With over 15 years of experience across restaurant and consumer brands, Nemeth most recently served as Chief Digital and Marketing Officer at Authentic Restaurant Brands. He also has experience at Popeyes, where he played a key role in launching the Popeyes Rewards program.
Europe is becoming a hotbed for fast food menu trends. According to Technomic's recent global menu trend study, French QSRs are hatching trends like the French taco, which includes French fries in the traditional filling, and the croustille, crispy fried chicken pieces over rice or pizza with Thai or Cajun flavored sauces. Germany and Spain are also contributing ideas, as is Great Britain, with its trendy jacket potatoes. These baked potatoes are now showing up stuffed with breakfast ingredients, including eggs, bacon, and cheese.
Yum. Sweetgreen has snagged another Chipotle exec. The fast casual chain on Tuesday said that it has hired its first ever chief strategy officer. Cindy Olson was named to the role. She is the former head of investor relations and strategy at Chipotle. Sweetgreen CEO Jonathan Neiman said Olson will play a critical role in accelerating the chain's sweet growth transformation plan, which he outlined last year to combat declining sales. Olson is one of several former Chipotle executives that have made the jump to Sweetgreen, including CFO Jamie McConnell, COO Jason Cochran, and head of culinary Chad Braz.
The plant-based concept Planta has closed its last 2 units in Canada. This comes after the Canada-born chain closed 12 restaurants in the U.S. after filing bankruptcy last year and being acquired by lender Anchorage Capital Group. But 5 Planta restaurants remain open in the U.S. and have seen sales increase about 20% so far this year, said Chief Operating Officer Dan Moody. Now the concept is thinking about growth again in the U.S.
And that should do it for Restaurant Daily. Listen to us every weekday wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Leanne Zinsmeister.
And I'm Lisa Jennings. Remember, it's nice to be nice to the nice.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Restaurant Daily. Rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and subscribe. Restaurant Daily brings you the top headlines of the day, but did you know you can dig deeper into the industry news by listening to The Week in Restaurants, or as we call it, TWER. Available wherever you get your podcasts on Fridays, TWER features restaurant business editor-in-chief Jonathan Mays, senior editor and tech editor Joe Guskowski, and executive editor Lisa Jennings, the TWERmites, who gather each week to chew on the top stories impacting the restaurant industry and offer their insights and analysis. Follow wherever you get your podcasts.